Happy lunch hour, gang. Okay, Sunday afternoon, and it's lunch, and most of you guys are getting home from church, thereabouts, lunch, brunch, whatever. Now is not the time to live in fear. I will say that. Now is the time to stand up and get stronger, and we need to understand that. Not just as preppers, but certainly because we're probably more ready than the normies out there. Now is the time to get strong. If you've seen what's going on over the weekend, this started Friday, went on again last night, the liberal left is resorting to multiple illegal means to intimidate and frighten conservatives. I say that because there are at least 7 conservative social media influencers I know, not personally, but know of, that I follow, that are huge. Let's put it this way. You know, when you're talking 1 million followers, that have been swatted this weekend. Now, if you know what that is, that's where somebody calls the cops and says, you're trying to do harm to somebody in your house, or, whatever, you're holding hostages, or you've got a gun to somebody's head, whatever it would be. Every one of them has turned out to be BS. And it's happened in Florida, it's happened in Indiana, it's happened in North Carolina, it's happened down in Texas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Some of these people have been threatened with death, if you will, because that's what it is, okay? They're hoping the cops go in, guns a-blazing, and kill these people. Fortunately, those people are known as to who they are. Kind of like me, okay? The locals, for the most part, know who I am. The sheriff's department knows who I am. I've talked to them multiple times, okay? They're not worried about stuff like that, but they have an obligation to go check anyway. But when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you see somebody on your Ring doorbell, for example, on your front porch, gun in hand, at the ready, but not pointing, that freaks people out, especially kids or spouses or whatever, who may not be as astute in, I'll just use the term, combat tactics, okay, or police tactics. But this is what they're trying to do. You look at the countless social media posts out there of liberals, whether it's on TikTok or Blue Sky, the gay alternative, the Democrat alternative to Twitter, trying to solicit people, trying to solicit money. I mean, those are the ones that kill me. Go to my GoFundMe account so you can support putting a bounty on Trump's head, right? Hello, FBI, you have something to do this afternoon, okay? Whether you have all these unhinged liberals, again, keying, spraying swastikas on people's Teslas, whatever, this is all intimidation. This is what they are trying to do. When you have the goat humpers from the Middle East getting out in front of cameras and saying, we're taking over Britain. You already have, okay? When the director of education and is now, the national education secretary equivalent, is now pro-Sharia law. Yeah, England's done. Canada, you're close. The U.S., it ain't gonna happen, okay? All these countries wonder why we absolutely refuse to give up our firearms. There's a good example, okay? You look at the protests, the screaming and yelling, the ACLU hiring, was it 19 attorneys to defend this kid, okay, at Columbia University who's getting deported by Marco Rubio in the State Department for inciting Palestinian violence, right? The kid starts a GoFundMe account. He's got $500,000. Oh, not too bad. You come in there, you raise hell for 6 months. He's been here for 2 years, okay? You got free education, you got free food, you got free housing. You're going to get kicked out of the United States, and as a parting gift, we're going to give you $500,000. No. You look at all these lawsuits that have been filed against Trump for doing something as silly as following the law, okay? You know, the U.S. Constitution and laws everywhere say you have to be a legal resident to have 2 feet in this country on some sort of visa, whether you're here permanently, you know, you've got some sort of visa, you get a green card, whatever, you get a tourist visa, etc. You don't just get to come in, well, we want a better life. Then go to the embassy in your country and apply. You don't just get to walk across the border and say, hi, I'm here, support me. It doesn't work that way. So what happened over the weekend? Well, we loaded up a couple of planes with illegals, a lot of them gang members from Trinidad and from MS-13, and we were sending them back to South America. And some idiot liberal judge said that's a violation of their rights. I hate to tell you this, Judge. Maybe you need to learn a little bit about the Constitution. Illegals, people in the United States illegally, do not have constitutional rights. An illegal cannot go and buy a gun. Second Amendment. An illegal does not have the right to free speech. First Amendment. Okay, we could continue. They do not have a right to a trial. They have a right to be put in a catapult and shot back over the border. Okay, that's what they have a right to. We're being kind by putting them on a plane and letting them walk off. We could easily put them in a body bag and let them be carried off, by preference. Okay, but no, we have some liberal activist judge on a federal court who decided he was going to issue an order saying that Trump could not follow the law, a law that has been a law in the United States since the late 1700s, to get rid of terrorists on U.S. soil. Okay? The judge ordered these planes that were already in the air, ordered these planes to return to the United States. Now, I cannot confirm whether they have or have not. I've seen stories both ways, which tells you how piss poor our journalistic ethics are in this country. You have some outlets that are saying the planes turned around. You have other outlets that are saying the planes kept going. Okay, we don't know. Could it be, we put up 2 planes in the air? Actually, we put up 4. We turned around the 2 that were empty and set the other 2 on their way. It's possible. Remember, Trump plays 4D chess while the rest of the world plays checkers. Okay, don't know. So we don't know where these people are. But of course, immediately, the Trump administration appealed this. And so there's now a 14-day holding period until the appeal's heard. Like most every one of these other ones, this will get overturned and they'll say, yes, the president is within his rights to deport illegals, especially criminal illegals. Okay? But the funny part is, you have all these lunatic, unhinged liberals who are trying to do whatever they can to intimidate you. Well, we're just going to let the gang members run free in the streets. It's their right until it's their daughter that's out for a jog that gets raped and killed. And then they're like, well, that was just, it's really horrible, but that was a unique incident. No, this freaking happens every day. Okay. You have Congress critters on the left side of the aisle who are stoking the fears. Hakeem Jeffries is on the Sunday morning news shows this morning saying inflation is going up. No, actually, we're at a 4-year low, which would be, if we do the math, that would be at the end of Trump's last term, okay, where we got inflation back down to. Egg prices are down, gas prices are down, mortgage rates are down, rents are down. I've told you that. In freaking 60 days, okay? We're getting rid of the criminals. We're getting the economy back. People want to bitch about the tariffs all over the place. Gee, I don't know. The tariff, just the threat of them, because they aren't even in place yet, have already brought 30,000 manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. It's brought billions of dollars of investment from foreign companies in the U.S. to build products here. Why? Because we're the number one consumer economy in the world, and these other countries know, and these other companies know, if they are closed out of work selling their product in the U.S., they're out of business. Okay, simply put. Sorry, you're not going to sell enough iPhones in China to make up for losing all the iPhones that you'd sell in the United States, right, Apple? Gee, that would be why you're trying to bring it back. And we could go on to all sorts of other companies. But they're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to scare you. Oh, inflation's going to, food prices are going to go higher. Gas prices are going to go higher. The only places gas prices are going higher are in Democrat-controlled states. Okay? And not even all of them. A lot of them are down. There's a couple that prices have gone up. You know why? Because the Democrats are trying to add more taxes. Okay? The fuel costs the same whether we sell it in Utah or sell it in California. Doesn't make a lick of difference. It's the taxes on top of it that make the difference between $3 and $6. That's the truth. But back to this judge who ordered the planes to turn around. We need to fight back. Kudos to Congressman Brandon Gill from Texas. Okay. Congressman Gill sits on the Judiciary Committee. He has stated over the weekend he is filing impeachment charges against this judge to have him removed from the bench. We need a whole lot more. I've already contacted Tim Burchett this morning to say the same thing, that he needs to get on board with this. We need to get rid of all these activist liberal judges that think they are above the law, that they can twist the Constitution around in a pretzel and interpret it like nothing was even remotely close to intended, and supersede the orders of the duly elected President of the United States who is following the Constitution. You know, what happens when we turn into Great Britain? Well, that'll never happen. Okay? But if it was tried, if all these radical Islamists decide to, we're bringing Sharia law to the United States, good flipping luck. There's 1.9 million active service members and 17 million veterans. Good luck. You and that high quality training you have, you know, I mean, I don't know, was mobile range, you know, shooting off the back of a camel? We don't got camels here. Sorry. So, you know, and the goats around here don't like men. Just saying. Okay. Our 9-year-olds are not marrying you. Guess what? When you knock on the door and say, hi, I'm your new neighbor with your knife in your hand, I'm going to go, welcome to the neighborhood. That's how it's going to work. This is our country. We took it back in an election. The leftists, the liberals, the globalists, the socialists, they are hell-bent on doing whatever they can to take over this country. They want your guns. They ain't getting them. Okay? Simply put, they want a civil war. FAFO. Go ahead and try. It'll be over in a week. Pinball out.